Thank you very much, Ken Worthington. Once again, welcome everybody to a Friday night edition of In the Sulky here at Meadowlands Racing and Entertainment. It is always our pleasure to welcome in the man that started the stable.ca. That is driver trainer Anthony MacDonald. Anthony, thanks so much for coming down and taking a little time to talk about the big upcoming event, but thanks for coming.
No, it's nice to be here. It's always nice to be at the Meadowlands.
Thank you. That's always what we love to hear. Now listen, let's get some of the bad news out of the way right away here. You were involved in a major accident in some qualifiers back on April 25th, so give us a little update on the health, when you think you'll be back, and how do you feel currently?
I don't feel that bad. My wrist has 6 pins in it, so I'm going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. I don't think anybody's missed me, though. I don't know if anybody's noticed yet. But 6 to 8 weeks I'll be out. I got a couple of broken ribs, and I broke my elbow and partially collapsed lung. But my wrist is the only thing that bothers me quite a bit right now.
Now, generally, you're like the Energizer Bunny. You're constantly in motion here. So this is probably a little bit of downtime for you. How do you handle that mentally and, you know?
As I said last night, it's quite a transition going from healthy to injured. And, you know, I said to you off air, it would have been terrible if I had broke my jaw. But no, you know, bones heal. My wrist will be fine. I'll heal up in the next 2 months and be ready to go for the summer. It's frustrating for me. It is. But at the same time, you know, you got to push forward. And as they say, the show's got to go on. So I thought I'd come down here and do this tonight. And
we appreciate you coming. So let's get to the business at hand here. You created the stable.ca a couple of years ago. You got a big weekend coming up, the spring open house. We'll get to that in just a minute here. But for some of the folks that still might not know exactly what you do, explain what the stable.ca is and fractional ownership.
Well, like I said to you, the stable.ca wasn't a wish or a hope. I mean, we did wish and hope that it worked, but all the information that went into building the stable.ca when my wife and I started it was simply from when I was in politics, knocking on doors and talking to everyday people in the general public, people that we don't generally talk to in horse racing. And they always said the same thing. They don't go to the races because to own a horse is too expensive, the bills are too unpredictable, and they don't gamble. So we simply made it easy for these people to get involved by allowing people to get in for a very small amount of money, having a flat rate billing system, and showing them a lot of entertainment. It really allowed them to look at horse racing for what it really is, and that's unmatched entertainment in society.
Now, it's big business for you. Tell us how many horses, how many owners you have currently gotten up to, and where are they all from?
We have 656 clients, and they're spread over 11 countries. At Christmas time, we had 144 horses. Now we've been paring them down. Obviously, you can't keep them all. So some of the horses we've been selling them that they just can't do in our jurisdiction over the winter months. So we've been selling them in New York and Pennsylvania. And you know, that brings up an important point, is that we put all these people together, spent all this money, bought all these horses. You know, the stable.ca's economic footprint, if you will, is pretty substantial all throughout North America, and we bought 2 horses in Australia this year too.
Unbelievable. We've seen the pictures of them thanks to the great work social media-wise by you and your team.
Well, that's actually Kelly.
Yeah, okay, Kelly as well. I know you hired her. That's a great hire on your part earlier this year. Now listen, it does always help to have a little bit of celebrity help as well when it comes to some kind of venture like this. How did you get NBC's Eddie Olczyk on board?
I'd like to tell you that we tricked him into it, but it really wasn't me. It was John Walsh. John Walsh is the general manager. He runs everything out in Hawthorne, Illinois. Just a great guy. Has been one of our clients for the last couple of years, and worked out a deal where he had given away some shares at his racetrack of our horses, and he knew Eddie Olczyk and got him involved. So I was injured. I couldn't go out and meet with Eddie Olczyk, but I'm going to go out and meet with him and John this summer, hopefully have some time to sit down and talk about what we might do in the future. But for now, he's one of our clients, and we're happy to have him on board.
Yeah, he is a great guy. We love watching him, especially this time of year during that Triple Crown pursuit. Now, I have to admit, I absolutely love your slogan that I saw while researching the other day, own a little, like it a lot. Who came up with that?
That wasn't me either. That was Kelly. So I really don't do anything, to be honest.
Yes, you do. Come on now.
No, Kelly came up with that. She pushes that, and you know, branding what you have is always important, and Kelly understands that. So that's her slogan: own a little, love it a lot. And she's given it. She's pushed that, and you know, now people starting to recognize that's our slogan. So it is pretty cool. I love it.
All right, on behalf of me, throw a little extra in her paycheck this week for coming up with that. All right, let's get to the other business at hand here. You got your biggest day coming up on Sunday, the Spring Open House. It takes place at the Tomiko Training Center up in Hamilton, Ontario. It's a big day. Of course, it's Mother's Day as well, so tell us what goes on.
you know, we obviously try to give out some stuff to all the mothers that show up. Kelly has some prizes, some door prizes to give away, shares of some horses to give away. We have a food truck there. It's just a great day. You know, the weather looks a little sketchy this year, but it can't always be good. And but I know, I said to you off air, you know, I'm always so surprised how many people show up. We already have like 250 or 260 RSVPs, and you know, these are people from outside of the country. You know, we have people from 5, 6, 7 states that come. They rent a hotel. You know, they go to eat at restaurants in our area, and then come to the open house and have a ball just watching us do what we do every week. And it's really uplifting, and people have to understand that is why these people got involved. It has nothing to do with, you know, owning the next winner of the Hamiltonian, and everything to do with being a part of a sport that we all know is a fantastic sport, and these people love to get involved. And we've really just given them an easy way, as I said to you before, easy entry points into the horse racing industry. These are active participants now. They come to the racetracks, and they want to be a part of the sport that we all love.
Now, you've got a very special guest that's going to come up and do a little work for you on Sunday. Tell us who it is.
So, we have two updates. One, Daniel Dube was coming.
Uh-oh, can't make it, huh?
Unfortunately, being a driver, you sometimes lose your mounts. And the only reason Daniel Dube was in our region on Sunday was because he was doing a lot of driving in Mohawk on Mondays. Now, he is at the Confederation Cup, and I haven't called Dan, but I knew that he wasn't coming back to drive the horses. He was driving last Monday. So Dan, you know, I've known Dan a long time. When I was a groom, when I moved to Montreal, Daniel Dube had moved from Quebec to Montreal to Blue Bonnets. He didn't know a word of English, I didn't know a word of French, so we always made fun of each other whenever we could. But Dan, anybody that knows Daniel Dube knows he's probably one of the nicer guys you're ever going to meet. And I just said to him off the cuff, hey, you know, you're going to be here anyway. Would you like to come and go with some of the New York breds that Scott DiDomenico is going to be getting from us? And he said, yeah, I'll come over. Most times when people say, yeah, I'll come over, it's, yeah, call you later.
No.
But no, Dan called and he said, hey, I'll be there. So we're hoping he still can, but I know that it might be a little more tricky than first thought now. Okay, for the folks who cannot be there physically in person, they have other ways to watch. Tell us how. Absolutely. So we have it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any way, any form of social media that we're on. We're going to be streaming it live so everybody can watch these horses go out, watch these horses go through their paces. Some of them are going to be going in the race bike, going a mile and 2.5, 2.6 on a half-mile track probably if the track's good. But the whole thing is the way it's all done, right? You know, we have 71 horses, I think, going technically behind the gate, but not behind the gate on Sunday morning. So there's a lot to see, a lot to do, and a lot going on. My father is there, and Bill O'Donnell will be doing commentary also there. So love to hear that, the Hall of Famer Billy O. Now, if a prospective owner wanted to get involved, maybe not necessarily be there at the training center as well, they can find a way to do it through your website. Oh, simple. The website was just redone. So it's all really cool the way they did it. If you go to the stable, www.thestable.ca. Now don't go to thestable.com because I think that's like a pottery site or something. Thestable.ca. You can go on there, look at all our horses, and see how you can get involved if you want to get involved. Or pop by the training center or simply call me or email me. If you want to get involved in horse racing in any way, shape, or form, I guarantee you we can help you out in no time. All right, I want to ask you one last question before we let you go here. We announced some great news at the Meadowlands this week, extending the contract of the Hamiltonian through 2023. You were part of that Hamiltonian experience. I know it was a thrill for you. Tell everybody what it was like. You know, the Hamiltonian, I grew up in PEI, so everybody wants to win the Gold Cup and Saucer when you're a kid, but everybody in the world wants to win the Hamiltonian or the Elite Lop or, you know, the Meadowlands Pace, the Little Brown Jug. The Hamiltonians, for most people and a lot of people in this industry, the biggest race you could possibly win. We were in the eliminations last year. We had over 100 people on the roof of the Meadowlands watching it. You know, God willing, hopefully we'll be there again this year. But it's a tremendous experience and really a highlight of your calendar year if you're a horse racing enthusiast. So hearing that news and having it stay here is very, very important, and couldn't be happier as a trainer and owner. All right, Anthony, we look forward to seeing you hopefully as part of this year's Hamiltonian Experience, and we look forward to seeing you back in the race bike pretty soon here. Good luck on Sunday. Thanks for coming down, and we love it when you show up here at the Meadowlands. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. All right, Anthony MacDonald, folks, thestable.ca. Let's take a quick time out. When we return, we'll feature in on some of our big races tonight. We've got the Can-Am Pick 4. We've got Driver and Trainer of the Week as well. So Dave Little will be with us right after this.